The city of Baltimore has waited impatiently for almost 2 weeks for some clarity about the death of a young black man, Freddie Gray, who sustained a fatal neck injury while in police custody. Today, Maryland's chief prosecutor announced that his death was a homicide and that 6 police officers will face charges ranging from second-degree murder to assault. We can talk now to our North America correspondent, Aleem Makboul, in Baltimore, about how the news was met. Aleem, how much of a moment was it when that announcement was made today for Baltimore?
Well, an extraordinary moment given the tension that's been here. Everyone saw the huge protests. Of course, there was some violence as well in recent days following the death of Freddie Gray. No one here expected, given what's happened in other cases where black men have been killed by police forces around America for years now, no one expected the prosecutor to come out and talk in such certain terms about the horrific ordeal this man went through, and then to say that this was homicide and charge those officers not just with murder, with manslaughter, with assault, with negligence, and also with false imprisonment, saying there was no reason to chase this man in the first place. And there was spontaneous celebration here on the streets, very different, of course, from the mood just earlier in the day. People honking their horns, people sitting on cars, cheering, dancing. It's still going on just a couple of blocks away. But remember, you know, I've been following this story since Michael Brown, the unarmed teenager, was killed in Ferguson. Then Eric Garner, a man who was killed in a stranglehold by police in New York. And another case where it's caught on video, a man in South Carolina being shot in the back several times. And there are some protesters who've been here in Baltimore who've been at all of those protests. What they've been saying to me is this is the first day they have seen some chink of light. They've seen some hope that something could change, and that they feel that they can breathe a little after this very oppressive 9 months or so. But of course, these officers have not been found guilty, and there are still huge underlying issues at play which need to be resolved.
Thank you very much, Mark. Well, that's great. Thank you. Well, now for the full story of what happened, here's Secunda Kamani.
Over the past year, America has been rocked by a stream of police killings of young black men and the angry protests following them. Freddie Gray is just the most recent. But unlike so many other cases, today prosecutors accused one officer of second-degree murder. 5 others face charges including involuntary manslaughter, assault and misconduct. They deny any wrongdoing.
To the people of Baltimore and the demonstrators across America, I heard your call for no justice, no peace. Your peace is sincerely needed as I work to deliver justice on behalf of this young man.
After previous days of violence and rioting following Gray's funeral, Baltimore is still under curfew. But today's announcements were greeted with jubilation in the city. This is the moment that Gray was arrested by police. He had a knife on him, though not actually an illegal blade. We still don't know how he died, but he sustained severe spinal injuries at some stage during the 40-minute van journey to the police station. The van made a number of stops along the way, including one that was only revealed yesterday, and one in which the police are said to have picked Gray up off the floor and placed him on the seat. Gray had been placed in leg irons but not buckled with a seatbelt. Despite his cries for help, it was only when they arrived at the police station a medic was called. Gray died a week later in hospital. Gray's case is the latest in a catalogue of controversial deaths involving police, many captured on camera. Here, Walter Scott was shot 8 times in the back by an officer, now charged with murder. I can't breathe! Last December, protests erupted after Eric Garner died after screaming he couldn't breathe whilst being restrained by police. No one was charged. No one was charged with the killing of teenager Michael Brown in Ferguson last year either. Does today's unexpectedly quick announcement mark a shift in how the state is treating such cases? President Obama today said the protesters in Baltimore deserve the truth about what happened. Tensions have clearly reduced here, but the issue is not new, and it's not one that will disappear easily.
Secunda Kamani.